Do your rhythm parts sometimes feel stiff or a little basic? Or maybe you play the right chords but it still doesn't sound tight or professional? If that's you, stay with me because today I'm going to show you how to sound like a real pro rhythm guitar player in just a few minutes. Rhythm guitar is where the groove of a song lives. Some people focus on riffs or solos, but if the rhythm isn't solid, the whole thing falls apart. The good news is you don't need complicated theory to sound better. You just need a few core fundamentals that every great rhythm guitarist uses. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 essentials that will instantly upgrade your rhythm playing. By the end, you will be able to play confidently with better tone, dynamics, and technique. And if you're into this kind of stuff, you can download the free PDF of this video in the description. The first key to great rhythm guitar is simple. You need to keep your right hand moving. Think of it the same way you would nod your head when a song comes on the radio. You're not thinking about the motion. Your whole body just follows the beat. Your right hand should feel the same way. A constant up and down motion that never stops. Okay, now let's hear how this feels like on guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4. So every beats get a downstroke and every ends get an upstroke. Very simple. But here's where rhythms start to get interesting. What happens if you skip an 8th note? This is where almost every rhythm pattern you will ever hear comes from. The secret is this: even when you are not hitting the strings, your hand never stops. If you choose not to play a downstroke, your hand still travels down. It's just preparing you for the upstroke. And if you choose not to play an upstroke, your hand still moves up, so it's ready to land on the next down. This constant motion is what locks you into the groove. So let's try a quick exercise to feel it. Take the same measure of 8 notes, but this time we erased one of them. On the 3rd downbeat, do not strum. Let your hand move through the motion without touching the string. Here's how it sounds. Alright, now let's take this a step further. What if we erased 2 8 notes? The rhythm changes again, and this is exactly how real rhythms are created. So in this example, I erased 8 notes to the measure to make it very clear for you the relation between the movement of your right hand and each 8 notes. So you can really hear that. But since we are holding the sound of every chords when avoiding the strings to create the patterns, the example should look a little more like this instead of like this. But I choose to write it this way to really help you understand the concept behind everything. So one small change at a time, your hands keep moving, the pattern starts to groove, and suddenly simple 8 notes turns into real music. So now that you understand the science behind strumming and how your right hand creates the groove, it's time to look at the main thing that actually shapes your sound coming out of the guitar. Because once your rhythm is solid, the next step is understanding what controls the tone, the attack, and the feel of every strum you play. And there is one simple tool that is more responsible for that sound than anything else. But just before we move on, if you're into this kind of stuff, you can download the free PDF of this video in the description. Okay, now let's talk about something that completely changes the way your guitar sounds, the pick. The truth is that your tone changes a lot depending on what you use to strike the strings. And each option has its own personality. So let me walk you through the journey from the softest touch to the most powerful attack. So we start with the thumb. This is the warmest, roundest sound you can get. There is almost no attack. It feels calm and smooth and almost like brushing the chords. Here's what it sounds like. is perfect for gentle songs, ballad, or moments when you want the guitar to stay out of the way. Then you can move to fingers. Strumming with your fingers give you more texture than the thumb, but your nails add a bit more brightness and definition, especially on the downstrokes. Here's how it sounds. This technique is great for campfire style playing, relaxed pop, or when you want something expressive and human. Next, we stepped into pick territory with first a thin pick. Thin picks bend easily, so the attack stays soft but brighter than the fingers. It makes strummings feel effortless. So here's the thin pick in action. A lot of beginners starts here because it feels very smooth against the strings, but the pro use it also to play airy light grooves. Okay, now let's upgrade to a medium pick. This one is the most balanced choice, not too soft, not too stiff. It gives you clarity without feeling harsh and lets you control dynamics more easily. So take a listen. This is often the go-to pick for rhythm guitar because it adapts to almost any style and it's stiff enough so you can arpeggiate chord as well. And finally, the heavy pick. This one does not bend. It hits the string with full power and gives a strong punchy attack. Here's how it sounds. As you can hear, each tool creates a completely different character. Even if you play the exact same chord progression, there is no right or wrong choice. It all depends on the vibe you want, the intensity of the song, and the emotion you are trying to express. And once you understand how each one sounds, you can choose the perfect tool for the moment and instantly make your rhythm guitar feel more intentional and professional. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite. Do you prefer playing with your thumb since there's no resistance compared to the pick, or do you prefer playing with a hard pick to get the full power out of the guitar? Okay, now that your strumming hand is moving and you know how different picks shape your sound, it's time to look at one of the most important parts of sounding professional on rhythm guitar: controlling the noise. This is where muting comes in. Muting is not just a technique. It is like a volume knob built in your hands. It decides what rings, what stays quiet, and how tight your rhythm feels. Let me show you how it works. It all starts with the palm of your right hand. If you gently rest the side of your right palm near the bridge while you strum, you get a more controlled and tighter sound. The chords still speak, but they no longer ring freely. Here's how it sounds like. These palm mutes appears in a lot of songs, but your left hand isn't the only one responsible for muting. Your fingers on the left hand can lightly release pressure to stop the string from ringing after the strum, not fully lifting up, just relaxing the grip. This creates a short percussive sound that adds groove without adding more notes. Listen to this. Once you understand muting, your guitar becomes more than notes. It becomes a rhythmic instrument. You can make sure your strumming sounds soft, tight, punchy, or percussive, all without changing a single chord. Muting is the difference between a beginner who lets every chord ring the same way and a player who grooves. It is the moment your guitar stops sounding messy and starts sounding intentional. So now that you know how to control your tone and tighten your groove, let's talk about something that brings your rhythm playing to life. One of the simplest way to lift a song and make the transition into the chorus feel exciting is to build a small crescendo right before it hits. You can do this with nothing more than 8 notes. Picture this moment. You are finishing the last line of the verse, the band is holding back, staying in control, and then for one bar, you start to rise. Still the same chords, still the same 8-note motion, but the intensity begins to grow. Start soft at the beginning of the bar, let your pick glide lightly over the strings, then little by little, dig in more with each strum, let the volume rise, let the energy climb. So here's how it sounds like. What makes this so powerful is how simple it is. You are just increasing your dynamics and letting the tension build. By the time you hit the downbeat on the next chorus, the energy feels like it was pulled forward, almost like you helped the song jump into the next section. This single bar of rising 8-note is one of the most natural way to guide the listeners into the chorus. It feels musical and emotional and completely intentional. And once you start using this trick, your rhythm guitar instantly sounds more connected to the structure of the song. So now you can see that great rhythm guitar is not about complicated patterns or fast playing. It is about understanding small details that makes everything feel musical. So thank you for watching. Hope you liked this video, and if you found anything valuable in this lesson, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me make more videos like this for you guys. Okay, bye for now.